Okay, so on this video, we're going to talk about solving two-step equations. So first, we're going to start with labeling some vocab. So the coefficient is the number multiplying or dividing the variable. So then the constant is the number that's added or subtracted from the variable. Okay. So the goal of solving an equation is to find out what the variable is. And we're going to do that by making the constant 0 and the coefficient 1. So you always want to know what 1x is. What is 1y? Something like that. Okay? So we solve always by doing the inverse. If you want to put in parentheses that means opposite operation. All right, so I just put a line through the equal sign just to keep it organized. Okay, so our goal is to get x by itself. So I see that I am subtracting 7. So I'm going to undo my constant first. The opposite of subtracting 7, the inverse operation, is adding 7. What I do on the side of the variable, I have to do on the other side. So negative 7 plus 7 is 0, so those go away. I'm left with x equals 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay. So over here, 2k means 2 times k. The inverse operation of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide by the entire coefficient. 2k divided by 2 is 1k. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. And we got our variable, one variable, positive 1k by itself. So w over 4 equals negative 5. W right now is being divided by 4. The opposite of dividing is multiplying. Negative 5 times 4 is negative 20. All right, and then on the side of my variable, because I always start on the side of my variable, here's a 4, and it's a constant because it's being added to the variable. And I want to make that 0. So I know that 4 minus 4 is 0. That leaves me with a positive y. Negative 12 minus 4 is negative 16. Okay? All right, so if you have a coefficient that's a fraction, like 1/10, you multiply by the reciprocal. Okay? And that's going to turn that into 1. So the reciprocal of 1/10 is 10 over 1. So 10 times 1 is 10. 1 times 10 is 10. What I do on one side, I have to do on the other. Negative 3 times 10 is negative 30. So 10 divided by 10 is 1. So that helps me achieve my goal of getting a positive 1 of the variable. Okay, so here, to get rid of negative 1/5 p, I'm going to multiply by negative 5 over 1. So negative 5 times negative 1 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. I'm going to grab the calculator. So 2.4 times negative 5 is negative 12. 5 over 5 is 1. So P equals negative 12. Okay. All right, same thing for over here. We have negative 2/7. So times negative 7 over 2. Okay, so those fractions cancel each other out. We're left with h. You should get 0.42 equals h. You can use a calculator. I did. All right, so that's about fractions, okay? So for two-step equations, first you get rid of the constant. Then you get rid of the coefficient. So here my constant, I'm adding 12, the opposite of subtracting 12. We're left with 7x equals 42. My coefficient is multiplying by 7, so I'm going to divide by 7, and x equals 6. So here my constant is a 4. It's a number by itself. To make 4 into 0, I'm going to subtract 4. We still have negative y over 2 equals 13. Okay, this minus can go with the 2. I'm dividing by negative 2, so I'm going to multiply by negative 2. And get that y equals negative 26. Okay. In this one, 1.4 equals w over 3 minus 7. My constant is minus 7. So the opposite of subtracting 7 is adding 7. What I do on the side of the variable, I have to do on the other side. Okay, w is being divided by 3. The opposite of that is multiplying by 3. 8.4 times 3 is 25.2. We got w by itself, so we're done. Right here, 5 equals negative 3 plus 2/7 x. My constant is a minus 3. The opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. We still have 2/7 x on this side. To get rid of a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal, so I flip it. Times 7 over 2. Times 7 over 2. Seven halves times 8 is 28. All right, so let's practice. Undo the constant by doing the opposite operation. Undo the coefficient by doing the opposite operation.